Okay, everyone. Here's this long-term video I was talking about, and today we are discussing what I think of the Chopper Avatron 2.0. In the short I made of it, I said it was kind of disappointing about what I thought, but probably where I'm going to start is it's definitely underpowered. It's really underpowered. You can tell it really wants to go over 40, but it kind of just doesn't, if that makes sense. Just kind of cuts up. The governor won't let it. It's the other thing about it is I would not want to go over 40 with this thing. It's nimble. That's the only thing I have going for it is it's nimble, and the battery life is a little bit over average. You could really lean this over. The roads are a bit wet right now. Can't really do it right now, but you could lean this thing over pretty good. I'll try that at some point. Try doing something like a wheelie, or just spinning around on one wheel. It's not really possible. The front end with this, like, whatever you call this thing, it's just, it really doesn't give you a lot of, what's it called? So you're either leaning forwards on the bars, or you're standing back here. Or you just ride like that. I guess you put a foot there, but no matter what, it's quite uncomfortable. It's just, there's no straight up. It's either standing back here if you're in line, or you're fighting against it the entire time. And everything is like a bit wiggly. That's pretty normal. But even though it's a bit wiggly, I would probably say if you focus on this right tire, that it has dig. What means is front tire spins faster than the rear tire. You always notice this because even if you're standing on the front, it still wants to spin the front tire more than the rear tire. So it makes stunting impossible. I bet you it's better off-road, but it doesn't have enough power. So, I mean, I tried hopping like a little, like, thing of dirt, and it, like, bogged down from 40 kilometers an hour, which is kind of depressing. So, it is foldable. It has your 3 modes. It's a very, like, it's not big. Most, for example, one of my friends, he has a actual electric scooter. It's like crazy. It's like that thick. This scooter is like that thick. It's about the thickness of one of those like average, 15 kilometer an hour or mile an hour electric scooters, size wise or length wise. But it's basically just beefed up suspension, and that's about it. The controls are very simple. You have a thumb throttle and your brakes. For some reason, it just doesn't have rear brake pads on it. I don't know what happened. I probably was on our end, but I guess it just doesn't have rear brake pads, which I figured out pretty quick. And other than that, it's super ropey steering wise. Like, it's sketchy just to, like, when you're going, it just wants to, like, do that. I think that's because of, like, how high it is and, like, this weird suspension. Because if you see normal scooters, they either have, like, 2 forks and you're kind of floating above it. Here, it's like a ramp and a cantilever, I guess you could call it. It's kind of weird if you turn that. I find that it's just, like, it's not the best. I don't think the design is very ergonomic, I guess. It's just kind of uncomfortable to ride, and it's super small. So if I were to stand side by side with my feet have to be very close together. And there's like not enough space on here. So that's like 2 feet if you're trying to ride flat. So I don't want to have to ride like this. That's comfortable. But I guess you could do that or like all the way up there. But it's just not very, like, you're constantly fighting it also with your hands. You're always either leaning against it or pulling back or just kind of like really holding on. And then the governor, when it kicks in, it's just like full brakes for like a second. It just slams. So that's also pretty sketchy. I don't think this is the scooter. So, I don't know the exact price of this thing, but I'm pretty sure that it wouldn't be worth it, even if it's like quite cheap. All I know is it's pretty expensive. all I've had to do for it so far is the rear tire. And to get the rear tire off, the rear end like deformed. So I had to take out your 2 swing arm bolts. I guess what you would call them, whatever you call them. And pulled them apart so I could get the tire in and then put it all back together. And the bolts, the hardware is like not terrible, but it like comes off both ways and goes on both ways. I don't know how that's even possible. But it took me maybe 10 minutes of figuring out which way it goes. I know that doesn't make sense, but it's kind of crazy. And the rear end is, I think it's like 2 1,500-pound shocks on the rear end, which that's just insane. Because you stand on this thing, and there is absolutely no suspension wobble. I guess I have to fix that up. It's super bouncy. There's no dampening, and it's just really bouncy. You come off like a little jump, and it's just like doing. In general, I don't know. Not the biggest fan of it. Like electronics wise, I don't know. Electronics are fine. I don't like how fat. I don't like. It should be limited at 55. In my opinion, for anything electric, if you're riding on roads, the correct speed for anything is about 55. I find Surons, my other shock, this thing, 55 kilometers an hour is like a comfortable top speed. 40 kilometers an hour, you're always riding top, or 50, you have a ton of speed. That's like Suron Zico Modus 50. I think that's where this thing should be. It also needs a steering dampener. There's nowhere to put one on this one, and that's like, you're sitting there. If you're not like holding on tight, it's just like this the entire time. And that's not because of the speaker. I usually have that off of there, but in general, like, it was fun. I guess I would say 5 out of 10. It was fun. It's like a bit under speed. Has no torque really, which is surprising. The rear tire may already be cooked. Yeah, already cooked. I'm not doing that again, so this thing may go into retirement already for another time. But it's not worth it. It's like below okay. It's like a 40%. It's just like not that good. Anyways, that's what I think. I'll get you guys a closer look at this. So here's your dual rear shocks. No brake pads in there. The mud guard, you need to have that on because of wet roads, but it does look kind of stupid. But that's all you have for controls there. Hey, I will say, I mean, the display is decent. You can just tell that this is I rode like way too far for that. I've ridden this thing one other ride, and it went way farther down. I barely used it, but it was full. And that's what it looks like from the front. This is what I'm talking about here with the weird steering, like cantilever stuff. It's just like super ropey in the front end. And there's like very low torque. Here's actually one thing though that I will say I think is super incredibly great about this thing. Even though it's not our biggest thing, the level on how quiet this bike is, I'm not talking Suron quiet. You can still hear Surons. This thing can't even hear it. There's not even tire noise, which is crazy. And even without a helmet on, just moving in the garage, you'll notice, like, it makes zero sound. I don't know how, but there is no whir, there is no sound at all. Anyway, again, I would say a good 6 out of 10. That's fair. Or less than that, 5 or 6. That's about all I have to say about it. Anyway, we'll be back with another video soon, I hope. Let's go.